welcome to The Imperfect Mum. Today there was something actually I wanted to share before I get started on this episode. The episode's going to be about Mother's Day, but there's something really important that I wanted to share today because obviously this is a podcast for mothers, but baby loss is such a huge part of my work. And one of my lovely clients is currently fundraising after baby loss, and she had late stillbirth. I will put a link in the show notes, but she's got a Just Giving page to raise money because when you lose a baby, you get something called a cooling cot, and a cooling cot means that you get to spend more time with your child, more time bonding with your child. Is really, really important for healing. So if anyone wants to donate, if anyone has been through that, click the link in the show notes. I'll make sure I add it there. And also I'm doing a little giveaway for Mother's Day. I've got 3 slots available just to do like a debrief. For anyone who has been through loss, miscarriage, it doesn't matter when it was, whether it was 5 weeks or 25 weeks, having someone to talk to who isn't emotionally involved, who is a professional who understands a bit more about what it's like, because I haven't been through baby loss. I just want to firstly say that I haven't. I'm really fortunate that I haven't, but it is something that I've worked with a lot of clients through, and I mean it's so sad. But anything to do with fertility, that's also included. That it's just something that's so unfair. I just think it's so unfair because so often we just get women just told it's unexplained and it's not researched enough. There is so much more work that we need to do. One of the things I think is so awful is that when women lose their baby, they have to go on the labour ward. So when you leave the hospital, you're very likely to see other women who've just given birth. I mean, it's just something that needs to change, and so much has changed. My friend was just telling me the other day that they are going to be changing the laws so that mums are entitled to more payment if they're signed off. But there's a long, long way to go, as there is with anything to do with women's health. And I really do think that having that space to talk, because as British people, we don't know how to talk about grief. We really struggle with that. And baby loss is like another level of grief. I really do think that it's one of the last taboos. So if that is something that you would like to book in, please let me know. And I really am thinking I want to do more work around baby loss because fertility, because it's something that so many women struggle with. And I think I hadn't realized until recently, because my world is something that I have to talk about all the time, how taboo it really is. And I was talking to a lady at the park the other day about a miscarriage, and she was saying, you know, it's just something you can't really talk about. So, and if you have been through that, talk about it, because you will be so surprised how many other women have also been through it and aren't telling anyone. And I so often, a lot of my clients do share, but I have other clients who don't share anything and who go through it alone and go through multiple miscarriages alone. And when they have shared, other women have said, oh, okay, I've had a miscarriage too. And it is such like a weight, because baby loss can feel like you're doing something wrong. I don't know how you feel about it if you have been through it, but feel like it's your fault. We need to blame someone. It's easier when we've got someone to blame. When someone dies, we want someone to blame. We want someone to be angry with. And so often women will blame themselves. So yeah, if you want to book in for one of those debriefs, email me. I'll put, again, that'll be in the show notes, or send me a message on Instagram, Natasha Nyake Therapy, or The Imperfect Mum. Okay, now let me get back to what I'm actually here to talk about, because I'm not actually here to talk about baby loss, but it's so important I had to start with that. Have a sip of my tea. And what I'm talking about today is Mother's Day. Because Mother's Day is a big day. It's a big day if you, for lots of different reasons. You know, I'm an attachment-led therapist, so a huge amount of my work is around the mother wound and narcissistic parenting. Then I do a lot of work around fertility and baby loss and relationships, and all these things have a huge impact on how we feel about Mother's Day. Now, if you aren't seeing your mum, if you are seeing your mum and you want to have some boundaries around that, if you want, like, there's a bit of me that I want to see my mum. I love my mum, but I want Mother's Day to be about me. Like, I want to rest on Mother's Day. I don't want to have to be cooking for everyone and being the hostess. I'm going to be the hostess. But I've actually been through all these notes and created some boundaries to make that feel okay for me, because I've decided I am going to cook a roast. I am going to do that in my house. One of the stipulations of that is that I'm cooking a roast with some red wine. My lovely husband bought me a bottle of the Governor the other day, and I haven't drank it yet, so I'm saving that for Mother's Day. Actually, no, I'm going to tell him I want a bottle of champagne. So one of the things that we always do on special occasions is we have a bottle of LPR, and he doesn't really like wine, but he likes LPR. So I might say to him, should we have a bottle of LPR and make our roast? And that makes it really fun because we'll do it together. But at the end of this, you'll get some journal prompts and to help you decide what kind of Mother's Day you need. So initially I was like, I don't want to do any cooking. And then as I actually worked for it, I was like, no, I do want to do cooking. I just want to have a break in the morning. I want to have brunch in the morning. And then in the afternoon, I will feel ready to host because I actually love hosting. And I started to feel more excited about it. But Mother's Day is what we want it to be. And the main thing that I don't want Mother's Day to feel like is really overwhelming. So I've also put in some boundaries to make sure that all the Sunday dread and the Sunday rush that I normally have is going to be done on Saturday. It's also going to be wonderful. Oh, and even more exciting, I've just remembered I'm going to a Mother's Day retreat. I got invited by one of my lovely clients to go to a Mother's Day retreat on Saturday, and it's so up my street. It's going to be breath work and working out, which are like two things that bring me so much joy. So Saturday afternoon, I'm going to Mother's Day retreat. Sunday, it is family day. I'm definitely having a lie-in. No one get me out there before 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock is a lie-in as a mum. Hello, do you still think 9 o'clock is a lie-in? For me, it's a lie-in. I am a morning person. I go to bed early, so I wake up early. So let's go. I've got lots and lots and lots to cover today. But Mother's Day often comes with expectations. Maybe you picture a peaceful morning, thoughtful gifts, like feeling truly appreciated. But in reality, the day can feel just like any other, or even more disappointing. Because, I mean, one of the things that I know will still happen on Mother's Day is my kids will still fight. Can't do anything about that. They are going to argue. So one of the things that I've put into my plan is I'm doing Roxy Manafusi. I always get this wrong. Roxy Manafusi has this confidence meditation, which I absolutely love. It's a 15-minute meditation. And if I want to deal with my kids arguing, I need to meditate in the morning because that is the best way for me to buy a bit of calm to regulate our nervous system. And I was actually talking to a client yesterday about regulating the nervous system, and I thought actually I talk about it a lot, but I don't often give that many tips on how to do it. But we all need 100%. I think as a mum, yeah, you need a toolkit to help regulate your nervous system. Like a few things in your locker that when you are really overstimulated, when you're about to lose your shit, you have to pull out the bag. You have them with your kids. You already do. Like your snack bag is one of the ways that you are regulating their nervous system, making sure they have a nap. You know, if you're like that mum who's driving round trying to get your baby to sleep or walking, I remember when I was little, when they were little, walking them around and trying to get to sleep, you're doing that to regulate their nervous system because they're going to start getting overwhelmed and then they're going to be an absolute nightmare. Taking them to the park, that is regulating their nervous system. But we need to have things like that for ourselves. And one of the things, she's possibly autistic, and one of the things that we were talking about was just going and sitting on the toilet. If you're feeling over stimulated at work, spend 10 minutes or 5 minutes, because obviously you're working on, so it's really busy. Go 5-10 minutes. It's probably like being at home with kids actually. Go and sit on the toilet for 5 or 10 minutes. And shut the door and just breathe. And she came back today, and said her shift was so much better just from sitting on the toilet when she was feeling overstimulated. She actually set alarms in her phone for when she was feeling overstimulated to go and sit on the toilet and just have like 5 minutes with like no one talking to her, no one asking for her to do anything. Sometimes we just need 5 minutes on the toilet. Sounds crazy, but 5 minutes on the toilet. I actually have on my website, in my freebies, I have something called a mindset reset. No, not a mindset reset. A meltdown reset. It's called a meltdown reset. And it's just a 2-minute meditation where you just go through breathing for 2 minutes. You would only need 2 minutes to reset your nervous system. So it's little tools like that. It's standing in the kitchen and having a dance. have a dance with your, if you've got a baby, have a dance for 3 minutes. Breath work. Now, my lovely friend Nicola was telling me that she did a breath work class the other day, and breath work. So basically, with breath work, it's the co-regulation. So if you've got a colicky baby or a baby who you just can't settle, to hold your baby and do the breath work with them, you will settle both of you, because as you calm, they calm. Energy is so important. And then big thing, exercise. Going for a run, going to a spin class, any kind of exercise, Pilates, because you're so focused on one thing. What else? Cleaning. Cleaning is in my toolkit. If I'm feeling overwhelmed, cleaning my kitchen, putting on a candle, and or the other one, which really makes me feel better because it overwhelms me so much, is setting a 10-minute timer and putting away my washing. Because I've always got washing, and I put my own washing. There's still more washing in the tumble dryer probably. But just doing that, putting it away, that clearing of the space, and feeling proud of yourself because you've actually done something that you procrastinated on, can really help with regulating your nervous system. And if you want to know any other things, book in for a 15-minute call with me and we can have a chat about what works for you. But different things work for different people, just like with children. Some children need to be walked to sleep, some children need to be rocked to sleep, some children you can put them down in a cot. We're all different and we all need different things to calm our nervous system. But what I will say, do not try something once and say it doesn't work. That's just a rule for life. You cannot try anything once and say it doesn't work. If you've tried something 20 times and it doesn't work, fine, I will accept that. You cannot try something once and say it doesn't work. So go and figure out what things can help you to calm your nervous system, because you're going to be tested every single day. And if you don't have a toolkit, you're going to shout a lot more. You're going to feel less proud of yourself. And do you know what? It's really going to fuck up your Mother's Day. It is, because when my kids argue, it's annoying, but it doesn't really trigger me, because I'm like, kids are meant to argue. It is what it is. I really do think it's part of their development. They toughen each other up when they're punching each other. And I will say I have a boy and a girl, so I know they're not fighting anywhere, isn't it? As much as I've seen my friends' boys are fighting. But the whining, there's definitely a lot of whining. So for many mums, this day feels complicated. Maybe your kids are too young to understand. Partner forgets, or your partner's a bit shit. Or I'm giving your partner benefit of the doubt. Your partner doesn't know what you want because you haven't told him. Now, you need to be very clear what you want from the day. Now, my husband is not a mind reader. Your husband's not a mind reader. Some husbands are better at being thoughtful than others, but my husband was raised by a mum who taught him not to be thoughtful. If you have sons, remember this, don't make that mistake. And he is not thoughtful, and he has to be told what to do. He's getting a lot better. We've been together for 12 years. You've got to pick something up. I mean, my dad probably bought my mum flowers from the garage for the first 30 years of their relationship. Now they've been together for 50 years, and he knows to go to the florist. No, it takes time. It takes time. I really hope that it doesn't take that long. My husband, he has asked me what I want, and I actually just found my present, and he's bought me some perfume. I just found it in the cupboard. He's not very good at hiding things. I did actually want Botox, but he won't buy me that. I don't think I've really pushed it enough, but I need perfume anyway. I will be very, very clear with him what I want, because if I'm not, I mean, he likes direction. We are actually, one of the arguments we're having at the moment is, I am not your manager. I am not your supervisor. You don't need to ask me every question before you do anything. You don't need to ask me whether my son needs to, what coat my son should wear, or what snack my kids should have when they're standing next to you and they're very capable of answering you themselves, or how to cut a pepper. But again, I blame that on his mum. Take that as a lesson if you're raising sons. And I just think that if we want something, we have to tell people. Like, it's not rude. It's not rude to ask. Just say, if you don't want to be disappointed, just say what you want. Ask. Don't just have to say, ask for what you want. You might not be greedy like me and want Botox. You might be happy with breakfast in bed. That's lovely for you. But I don't think I am greedy, because some people are asking for Chanel bags for Mother's Day. So I think I'm being quite reasonable about the perfume. Okay, if you have a difficult relationship with your own mum, or if you've lost a child, this day can bring up big emotions that aren't acknowledged in the Mother's Day. And I hope that they're going to be acknowledged on my page. Like that is something that I think is really important this year. Like there are so many reasons why Mother's Day is hard. Whether it's you're estranged from family, whether your family live really far away, whether people have died, like you might have lost your mum. There are so many reasons why Mother's Day is hard. But what I think all that means is you need more self-compassion. Because if you're going through something, you need to be even more boundaried about what you need to make the day as easy and as pain-free or as well or as lovely as it can be. Like if you've lost someone and you want to light a candle, you want to go to church or their grave, or I don't know. But I think that if you want the day to go as smoothly as possible, planning is the best way to make that happen. And also, lastly but not least, lower your expectations. Don't expect things to be perfect. This is the Imperfect Mum podcast. Nothing about motherhood will ever, ever, ever be perfect. And nothing about my office will be perfect. I've just noticed there's a box next to me that's not meant to be there. But it won't be perfect. It will be a messy day like any other day, but you can do lots and lots and lots to make it different to the norm. It doesn't have to be a normal day. Go to Marks and Spencer's, get your picky bits, get your special breakfast. I did see they had cheesy hot cross buns the other day, if that's your flavour. And get all the Easter shit. All the Easter shit. Can I have an Easter Mother's Day? See, this is the problem. I'm going to make lunch on Mother's Day and I'm going to want to take over and make it look really nice. And my husband will be like, do we need mats? Of course we need fucking mats. What are we, savages? Okay, so why are we waiting for appreciation? Why wait? So why waiting? I'm completely lost my words. So why waiting for appreciation keeps us stuck? So many mums feel unseen because they're waiting for someone else to make them feel special. And I think this goes back to the idea that like our partners aren't mind readers. I mean, you might not even have a partner, but we have. I love the saying, in every single second we have a choice, and I know that I have a choice to let my husband have complete free reign over Mother's Day, and he'll disappoint me. 100% he'll disappoint me. Because he is not me. And unless I can create a clone of me, I will be disappointed because most of us are control freaks over here. And we know how we like things. And if you're laid back, wow, that's nice. Count your blessings. Like be grateful for that you're really laid back. But I am not, and I don't know many laid back mums. But we have to teach our husbands. We've got to teach them how to do things, what we need. We've got to ask for what we need. And one of the biggest problems here that you're not going to realise you realise as you go through matrescence, and you particularly realise that when you do couples therapy, is that so much of what we do is invisible. So I have actually written on my list that I want to get all my Sunday jobs done on Saturday, so I don't have that stress on Sunday night of having to get all the uniforms out, get all the washing away, plan my week, book my room. I like to get the kitchen. No, I can't do the kitchen the day before. What else do I have to do the day before? Food shopping, all the food shopping done. I don't want to be like having to rush to Tesco's on Sunday or realizing there's no snacks. That kind of jazz. I'm going to do that all on Saturday. That is one of the things that my husband would never, ever think about. He wouldn't remember that. Like he'll get up on Sunday morning, and he will say, "Oh, should I go to Tesco's now? Oh, and then we need to walk the dogs. Oh, your mum's gonna be here soon. Oh no." And the day would just get away with that, and it would just be any normal Sunday. So I have planned that I need to get my Sunday jobs done on Saturday so that I can relax. The other thing so instead of feeling resentful, I can teach my daughter that when you want something, you ask for it. And you don't get upset when it doesn't work out. You accept your part. And also I think you've got to accept your partner's strengths. I didn't get with my husband because he was romantic. Maybe if I was looking for a new partner, that would be higher on my list. But I didn't. He is loving, and maybe I confused that with romantic when I was 26. I don't think so. No, I would never ever. He would never get the romantic. He doesn't like shopping. So how's he going to buy me nice gifts? He doesn't have a clue. He doesn't even buy his own clothes. When I met him, honestly, I can't explain how badly he dressed. But recognizing the small everyday gestures as a sign of love can shift your mindset and help you to feel more loved. One of the things I would really recommend if you're feeling like your husband doesn't get you or your partner, to do a love languages quiz, because understanding how someone gives love and how they receive love can really help you to connect a lot better. And my husband, how does he give love? I forgot. He likes acts of service. I know that. So he feels really loved when I make him a coffee in the morning, or like I make him a nice dinner, and I receive love with quality time. Now, quality time is not very important to him. So we have had to learn that about each other. And for me, it's really important for him to spend time with me without any phone. He doesn't care about that. He would be happy to sit next to me on my phone for the rest of his life. And that actually, thinking of that, so last weekend I booked in a date night. Before, I might have got annoyed and waited for him to do it, but I know he doesn't think about that. He was so happy when I rang him and told him that I'd done it, but does he think about it first? Very, very rarely. I will say he did book us in the most lovely dinner on Valentine's Day, and he's learning. See, he's learning because I'm directing him. Sometimes I moan about it, and sometimes I am grateful for it. I'm not perfect, and can't be grateful all the time. I have all those moods, just like I'm teaching my kids you can have all the moods. I have to accept that I have all the moods. Okay. Okay, so this is a big one for me. Releasing the guilt and enjoying the day. The shoulds of Mother Day, what we expect versus what actually happens. If things don't go to plan, or letting go of the guilt around doing nothing. Now, I don't know about you, but I am absolutely terrible at sitting still. I think I am thinking, is it ADHD or is it a learned behaviour? Because my mum can't sit still. Who knows? Does it matter? Not really. Is it a problem? Yes. Am I working on it? Yes, every day. But being able to actually, in my mind, I was going to have this day where I can get up whatever time, and I actually put in I was going to go to Reformer Pilates, and then I was like, no, that's going to be too rushed. You don't want to do that. You don't want to be rushed. You want your lion. And I don't know, when you're little, when your kids are really little, the days go really slow. When your kids get older, the days go really quick. That's actually, if you've got small children, that's something for you to look forward to. But being able to sit still and to not feel guilty about not doing anything and to not worry about the washing is something that I'm going to find really hard, which is why I was pre-planning to get all my stuff done on the Saturday before I go to the retreat. Look after your future self. That is one of my biggest tips. Do the things that are going to make your week easier to look after your future self. One of the things I really want to start doing is planning my outfits for the week, because I get my kids' clothes out every day, but I never plan my own. And then I look in the wardrobe, and I'm getting a bit better. I've got a Pinterest board, and I look on my Pinterest board and think, okay, that looks nice. I'm going to wear that and wear something similar. I say that I'm wearing a tracksuit. Yeah. So I'm okay, not every day, as you can see. I am very clearly wearing a tracksuit. Well, it's not that clear, but I am wearing a tracksuit today. Today we didn't do it. Today we just went for a tracksuit. But I am trying to. I've got this Pinterest board. It's a really good idea. Go onto Pinterest. What's it called? Pin outfits that you really, really like, and then either make sure they work with most of your wardrobe, or if you need to buy a few bits like new shirts, like buy a few capsule pieces that work with these outfits. And when you get dressed, like I'm just an oversized girl generally, so it's just like a shirt and baggy jeans, or a jumper and baggy jeans, but it looks more pulled together. But what I want to do is I want to start setting out 5 outfits a week, so that I've just got 5 options of things to put on. It's what apparently successful people do. Obviously, they have stylists who do it. Simon Cowell and who's that guy who owned Apple? You know who I mean. Anyway, he used to do it. They wore the same outfit every single day because it meant that they didn't have to worry. And as mums, we just have this constant decision fatigue, because we have to make so many decisions about everyone every day. Before you had kids, you only had to decide what you were wearing. Now we have to decide what they're wearing, what fits. This morning I got my daughter dressed, her school shoes don't fit. Now I need to figure out what school, I need to get her new school shoes, but I need to get her summer dresses, I need to get summer shorts. All these decisions all the time. What size are they in now? Do I need 7 to 8? Do I need 8 to 9? So I just think anything you can do to reduce decisions makes it a bit easier, but also I feel so much better when I have a nice outfit on, that just getting rid of that decision and putting on the same outfit isn't going to work for me. That is another option though. Just get like loads of black and white t-shirts, jeans, and then you just put the same thing on the other day. Maybe just like a few pairs of Adidas Sambas. So don't you? I would really like for Mother's Day is yellow and brown Adidas SLs, I think they're called. But he's not getting me them either. I don't think. He's not the kind of guy to surprise me. I'd love that. But maybe yours is. Maybe yours is. I went to my friend's house the other day and her husband had got her a photo shoot of her kids for Christmas. Would I have wanted a photo shoot of my kids like that? No. Hope she doesn't listen. I don't want a photo shoot of my kids. Unless it is from With Love with Lucy. She's that lady and a photographer. Find her on Instagram. Her photos are beautiful in these fields. I definitely would want that, but on the whole, no. But for her, the most perfect gift. It was so thoughtful, and I was like, wow, he goes out and does this for you. They were babies as well. He said it was the worst day of his life. But like I say, every partner has their strengths. Your partner will have some strengths. If you're in the thick of it, you probably don't remember what they are, because definitely I've been there. I've hated my husband so much at times. I still do sometimes. But definitely when my kids were little and we were figuring out this new how to navigate sharing the load, and he had this weird idea that because I work part-time, I should do everything at home because that's what his single mum did. We've worked through that. We figured that out. He does a lot more. He's still not as good as me. I still definitely would win the gold medal for who does the most, but let's not be petty. Anyway, back to Mother's Day. How to ask for what you need without feeling awkward. Do you feel awkward? Do you feel awkward about asking what you need? This is a revelation for me. I know people overthink things that I don't overthink. I get to step inside other people's minds all the time. I was telling my client earlier that if you don't need leave a party, just do a French exit. Do you know what a French exit is? A French exit is when you've had enough of somewhere, you just leave and you don't say bye. I do this wherever I go. My friends think it's funny. Make friends with people who get you. But I know that she was like, absolutely not. I have to say bye to every single person at the party. And I was like, well, this is why you don't like parties. But if we can ask for what we need, firstly, men are very simple beings, generally. They like, I don't know about you, but they like direction. If your partner doesn't want to be thoughtful, then they probably want direction. If they want to be thoughtful, they might not want direction. I don't know. I like direction. I went shopping with my husband the other day to try and get him to pick some things that he wanted for his birthday. He didn't want anything. I want everything. He got one pair of jeans and a jumper. I want everything he wanted. He wants nothing. Thank God for that. Or we'd be living in poverty. Have you seen those memes? I am that. I love them. They're like, you text your husband and you say, this guy asked for my number, and he says, well, send him your credit card bill. He'll want it back. That's my husband. That's the kind of thing that my husband sends to me. Okay. Now, where are we? So why mums often struggle to say, this is what I'd love for Mother's Day. Giving your partner kids an actual blueprint of what would make you feel good. For example, I'd love a lie-in and a cup of tea in bed. Can we make that happen? Or I don't need a big gift, but a handwritten card from the kids would mean the world. Or I do want a big gift. Can you get on ASOS and look in my basket? Yeah, one of my friend's husbands, he just goes in her basket. He has he knows how to go on. He just goes on her iPad and looks in her basket and orders her a present. And just, make things easier. It's a bit like when you've got a business, you have to make everything as easy as possible. Like always have a link to Apple Pay. If you have a business and it doesn't have a link to Apple Pay, I reckon how much money must they lose? Because people are like, oh, fuck it, I can't bother to go and get my card. It's the same with your husband. You want to get what you want, give him time. And it's the same with time. Like he might not realise that you don't want to have to do the washing on Sunday because he's not thinking 100,000 steps ahead like we are all the time. So if you give him that direction, like I've sent the note saying we need to get everything done on Saturday, he'll be like, oh yeah, that's a good idea. I would have never thought about that. Or, oh, we need to order the food shopping the day before, so we're not like, we don't have to spend an hour and a half in Tesco's before my mum comes round at 2. Be like, oh yes, that's a good idea, because that's girl maths. Remember, we're doing girl maths. They are not doing, well, I don't know. I can't generalize because not everyone's partner is my partner. Your partner might be doing girl math. If they are, let me know how you got to that, or just send me a message. I'd love to know about that unicorn man. And also, one of the things that I really want to talk about, if you are a single mum and you haven't left yet, is buy yourself your own gift. If you are a single mum, Francesca, you need to listen to Francesca Ramba because she's so brilliant at talking about this. She buys gifts for herself at Christmas, birthday, Mother's Day. Buy yourself a gift. Like whatever you want, go out and buy it. Treat yourself. Go and get yourself flowers. I always buy flowers. I actually bought flowers the other day for my daughter's party. She's my daughter. She likes aesthetics. And her and her friend started singing Miley Cyrus. I can buy myself flowers. I was like, what an influential song. Yes, look at these women we're raising who can buy their own flowers. Dancing, we were all dancing around the kitchen. It was a very memorable moment. But yeah, go and buy yourself your own flowers. Go and buy yourself your own perfume. Whatever you want. Buy yourself a new top. Yeah. Okay. So also one of the things that my mum can make me feel guilty, but I don't think she will, but she probably has in the past. But if you're raised by, but I know a lot of mums will. If you're raised by a mum who has always made everything about her, never truly saw you or made you feel like you were never good enough, this day can feel more triggering than something fun and something to celebrate. Like you might have to set some boundaries with her, opt out of celebrations, or even grieve the mum that you wish you had. And that is something that I know this podcast has really been lighthearted on the whole, but we do have to accept that if you don't have the mum that you deserve, that is a grief as well. Like there are a lot of people who are estranged from their mother. This isn't a rare thing. Or a lot of people who have very difficult relationships with their mother, and their mother will just make Mother's Day about them. And it's how can you have those boundaries? And one of the things it's just come to me is if Mother's Day, Sunday, is going to be about your mum, set another day, make it about you. So say to your partner, like, I know Sunday is going to be about my mum. So when can Saturday be about me? That is not too much. You deserve that. You do everything for everyone every day. You deserve your day. You deserve to be celebrated. And just move the day. It doesn't, it doesn't matter when it is. I mean, in America, Mother's Day is a different day anyway. Just move the day. And if you're a new mum, breaking the cycle can feel heavy, especially on days like this. But by being aware, you are already doing things differently. So if you are a new mum, this is your day to say, can you take the baby? I'm going to have a nap. Can you take the baby? I'm going to go for a walk. Can you take the baby? I'm going to go to Tesco's on my own. Because when you're a new mum, going to Tesco's on your own is like going to a spa. Well, no, to be fair, it might make you anxious at first, but once you get past that anxiety, push through. Push through. Your baby will be fine. All you need to do is just get some evidence that your baby's fine when you've left them for an hour. I promise you, going to Marks and Spencer's on your own is nearly as good as going to the spa. But like, make some time, even if you're breastfeeding, you can still make some time for you, some time to rest. I mean, if you've got a newborn, I'm just thinking rest as much as you can. Yeah, rest. I wish that someone, no, that's a lie. Someone did tell me rest as much as you can when you got a baby, and I ignored them, ignored everything they said. And I made my life hard because I was so obsessed with my worth being about how much I could achieve and how I could show the world that I could cope. And actually, if I had a baby now, sometimes I think about it, I would just embrace the slowness. I actually want to get someone on the podcast to talk about this thing called like slow living. I want to talk more about slow living because I want to live slower. Like we are too busy. I want to do less. I want to just less overwhelmed, less busy, and stop taking too much on. And my motto for the year actually is do less better. I need to write that down somewhere because until I've just said it, I forgot about it the whole week. But yeah, do less better. Okay, so I want to end this podcast. I've written so many notes with the journal prompt. So if you've got a pen, Right, you need to write this down, or pause this for a second, go and get a pen, and I'm going to read out the journal prompts that I created to make sure you have the Mother's Day that you deserve. Okay, so the first one is, what would a truly enjoyable Mother's Day look like to me? Now, I filled these in, so I'll share what I said. I would have a lie-in and then go out for breakfast. I want to go to permit rooms, actually, and I probably need to book that. It's just easier for me to do it. Then we'll come back home, cook lunch with a glass of wine together. What small moments bring me the most joy, and how can I include them in my day? That's the next one. What small moments bring the most joy, and how can you include them in your day? I said cuddles with my kids on the sofa, watching my kids riding their bikes while I walk the dogs on the beach. So I want to go for breakfast, then walk my dogs, then have a lie. But this is where I have ADHD and I have time blindness, and I think that I can fit all that in my day and not feel overwhelmed, and I can't unless I get up at 6 o'clock, which I'm not doing. So cook. Yeah, breakfast, take my kids out on a bike ride on the beach, cook a roast, and not have to worry about shopping. Doing all my Sunday prep on Saturday so I don't have a manic Sunday evening after a lovely, relaxing day. Do you know? I think I'm just going to get a takeaway. I've changed it, guys. I'm not having a roast because I want to go for the dog walk. I don't want to be in a rush. I think we're going to get what takeaway though? I don't know what you can get in the middle of the day. I know what I could do to make it easier. I've just had a brainwave. I'm going to prep my vegetables like I do at Christmas the day before. Okay, I'm going to prep my vegetables and I've got a lot of things to do on the Saturday. I'm going to prep my vegetables and make cauliflower cheese the day before so that I can get all the stuff I want to do done and it won't feel manic. Look, if you want to succeed, you need to plan. Okay, next. How can I communicate my needs and desires of the day without guilt? Just send Marcus these journal prompts. I'm just sending this to him. I don't care. What boundaries can I set to ensure I get time to myself? Make sure all the food shop and Sunday prep is done Saturday, and also prep my vegetables, which I've just said. How can I create a day that feels special even if others don't plan it for me? So I actually said turn off my phone. Turn off my phone, have a proper day off work, because once I go on my phone, I start getting ideas for work. I start doing things that overwhelm me. So I think I'm going to try, because I might find it hard, to have a phone-free day. That's my plan, to have a day without my phone. Okay. What self-care activities can I give myself for the day? I said a face mask in bed. That's going to be actually in the evening. A face mask in bed, and I want to do Roxy Nafusi's 15 minutes. No, in the morning when I get up, I'm going to do face mask and Roxy Nafusi's meditation. Face mask with a meditation, like work smarter, not harder. What words of appreciation do I want to tell myself for the day? I work so hard and I deserve rest. Rest and recharging my batteries makes me a better mum. I need what we actually need is a Mother's Day weekend. Saturday's just not long enough, especially when you've got to factor in doing stuff for your own mum. And I imagine my kids are going to have to go and see their nan. Oh my God, I'm already feeling overwhelmed. Okay, I might be going over this, but all right. So I've also done some affirmations for mums on Mother's Day, which I will actually put in the show notes. Okay, but I'm going to just go through those now. I am worthy of love, care, and appreciation without conditions. I do not have to repeat the patterns of my past. I get to break the cycle. My feelings are valid, and I give myself permission to honor them today. I am learning to mother myself with the love and kindness I deserve. I am already the mother I needed. I am enough just as I am. My worth is not defined by how my mother treated me. I am creating a new legacy of love, safety, and connection for my children. Okay. All right. So I hope that some of that was helpful. If it was, please send me a message on Instagram or comment. Please leave a comment. Leave me 5 stars. I would love that. Please leave me 5 stars. I'm doing what I can to grow this podcast, and share this with a mum who you think it could be helpful, who is also feeling a bit stuck. And if you have any suggestions on what you want me to talk about on the podcast, I love to get feedback on what you're struggling with, what you need help with, and what else you want me to ramble on about, because I love doing this podcast. And there's no point doing it if it's not helping the women that I want to support. Okay. All right, have the best Mother's Day. Please rest. I'm going to try my best, and I know the best. I've just turn off my phone. If I don't waste time on social media, imagine how much time I'll get back if I don't go on my phone on Sunday. That's the answer. It's the answer to everything. So Sunday, I am turning off my phone, and I advise you to do the same too. Have the best day, and I will see you next week.